Hello, everyone. This is Mike from the On the Stack podcast at iceworm.org/magic, back with another deck video. I took the green black elf deck I had posted about a month ago, and I've actually retooled it and made it entirely elves. So we're just going to take a look at this deck really quick. In our lands, I have 11 forests. We have 4 jungle hollows. They enter the battlefield tapped. When they enter the battlefield, you gain 1 life, and then your next turn you can tap it for either black or green. And we have 9 swamps. Into our creatures, I have 2 Deadbridge Shaman for 2 and a black. They're 3/1, and if they die, target opponent discards a card. I have 1 Dwin Guiltleaf Dayan for 2 colorless, 2 green. She's a 3/4 with reach. She also gives other elf creatures you control +1/+1, and whenever she attacks, you gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. We have 3 Elvish Visionaries for 1 and a green. They're 1/1. When they enter the battlefield, you can draw a card. We have 3 Eyeblight Assassins for 2 and a black. They're 2/2, and when they enter the battlefield, target creature and opponent controls gets -1/-1 until the end of turn. We have 2 Leaf Gilders for 1 and a green. They're 2/1, and then they can also tap to add green to your mana pool. We have 2 Land of War Empaths for 3 colorless, 1 green. It's a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you can scry 2, and then once you're done scrying, you can reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, you can put it into your hand, and if it's not, you just put it back on top of your library. We have 4 Shaman of the Pack for 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 green. It's a 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to an opponent based on how many elves you control. And finally, we have 4 Thornbolt Archers for they're 1/2 for 1 black. Whenever they attack, they deal 1 additional damage to each player that doesn't control an elf. So you can essentially swing for 2 of this if your opponent doesn't have any elves. Into our enchantments, I have 2 Mantle of Webs for 1 and a green. Enchant creature. That creature gets +1/+3 and gains reach. Into the instance, I have 3 Might of the Masses for 1 green. Target creature gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn for each creature you control. We have 3 Reclaims for 1 green. Put target card from your graveyard on top of your library. And finally, into our sorceries, I have 1 Eyeblight Massacre for 2 colorless, 2 black. Non-elf creatures get -2/-2 until the end of turn. So if you're playing against like a Thopter deck, you can essentially wipe out all their Thopters with this. If I only have 1 of them, but once I get more, I'm going to add them into this deck. I have 1 Macabre Waltz for 1 colorless, 1 black. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then discard a card. We have 3 Reed's Soul for 1 colorless, 1 black. Destroy target creature with power 3 or less. And finally, we have 2 Wild Instincts, 3 colorless, 1 green. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until the end of turn, and it also fights target creature and opponent controls. So you can use this to wipe out a creature, and then later in that turn, since it's buffed up, be able to swing with it as well. I've had a lot of fun with this deck, like a lot of really good synergy with all the elves, especially the Shaman of the Pack. In the last deck I did, I only have 1. I only had 1 of them, and now I've actually got drew a couple more and traded for 1 not too long ago. These are really a star of the deck because you have everything in this deck is elves, so this thing's going to do a lot of damage when it comes into play. Um, is there anything you think I should add to this deck or take away? Leave it in the comments below. Interested to see what you guys think of this deck. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.